Hi guys, Barnaby for Spurred On. I'm here with another match preview battle this week for the Liverpool away game. It is Craig Mitch with the squeaky chair. Hi Craig.
Hi, squeaky chair, it's me.
It's Emma Story with no squeaky chair. How are you?
Hello.
Okay, you know what we do first though in our match preview battles? We go over the previous match preview battle, which was Emma versus Reese for the Germany versus England game. Now we all know that match finished Germany 2. England Hotspur 3.
Yep.
That's how it finished. But what I can tell you is that in terms of last week's match preview battle, Emma against Reese, the scores came in as follows. Go and check that old video if you haven't seen it, by the way. It's very good. Emma came out with 6 points. So she got six predictions right in terms of the score and the scorers and the team selection. Reese, however, who was previously bottom of the table, 10 points. Victory by 4 points, which means overall Reese was the winner, so he gets 3 points, just like in a league table. Emma, 0 points. So currently, the league table, after all players have played 2 games each, is as follows. In third place, with 1 point and a plus 21 goal difference, is Emma Story. In second place, with 3 points and a plus 20 goal difference, so slightly worse than yours, that's something, is Reese James. And sitting top of the pile, as he has done since the first week, with 4 points and a plus 26 goal difference, is Craig Mitch.
Hey, experience.
So that's how, yeah, he's been doing the match previews all year, so there's a lot of pressure on him to stay at the top of the table. Anyway, this is all about Liverpool versus Spurs.
Ooh.
Remember, they get points for correctly guessing what the score will be, who will score for both teams, and the lineups. And then at the end, so keep watching, we will be doing other match predictions around us, the top 5 or 6 teams, and they get points if they get those correct. And finally, whether they get the league table prediction at the end of the weekend correct as well. We will also be fitting in a couple of memories and some stats in the middle. So I'm going to start with Emma's story. Emma, Liverpool versus Spurs. What do you predict the score to be?
I'm going positive. I've got a feel-good factor after the England game. I'm saying we're going to win 2-1.
2-1 Tottenham Hotspur. And your predicted scorers, please.
My predicted scorers are the boys.
Yeah.
Harry Kane, without a doubt. And I think Dele's going to pop up. I think he's going to put that miss against Germany behind him. Smash it in.
Harry Kane, Dele Alli in a 2-1 Spurs win at Anfield, where we don't win very often.
No, but I think this is the season to change that.
Emma Story.
Oh, and Liverpool Coutinho would be my score.
Liverpool Coutinho, yes, that's what I was going to ask next, obviously. So, Craig Mitch, how do your predictions differ from Emma's stories?
Mine's positive as well.
Oh.
Just a bit more positive. I'm going for 3-1.
Oh!
Good.
I just think we've got more. We're just better than them.
Okay.
We're just better than them. I think we're going to show it. We're heads and shoulders better above them. They can't compete with us. I'm going with 3-1. Who's going to score for us? I'm going with Kane, Ali, and I think an Eriksen free kick.
Okay.
I think he's overdue one. It's been a while.
Just
We've
so
been
you know,
missing
you
a few of
don't
them.
get an extra point if it
I
is
was
in
trying to
fact
edge
a
it in
free
there. I was
kick.
trying to
Nice
edge it in
try.
there.
And who do you think will score for Liverpool?
I'm going with Firmino.
Firmino.
I'm going with the other Brazilian. I'm going to go with him.
Okay, so they are the score and scorers predictions, as you've seen. Let's go to some memories now. Craig Mitch, I'll come to you first. What memories do you have of Liverpool Spurs games?
I have a bad memory. The last time I was at a Liverpool Spurs game, it was at White Hart Lane. It was in 2013, and we were battered 5-0. And I was right behind the goal when Luis Suarez put in a brace. We were absolutely destroyed. And I remember Paulinho getting sent off in like the 60th minute.
Don't even bring up his name.
I know, it makes me sick. And it was a really, really bad day. I paid like £58 for the ticket. Mate sorted it out for me. I was just fuming. I was absolutely fuming. But I remember, and you guys aren't going to like me for this, but bear in mind, it was like 3 years ago. I remember when the 5th goal went in. It was right near the end of the game. And Hugo Lloris went in the back of the net to dig out the ball. And it was silent. And it wasn't a lot. There was a lot of blue seats around me. And I stood up and I shouted at Hugo Lloris, "You're fucking shit." And he definitely heard me.
Whoa!
But I was that angry. And it wasn't his fault because that idiot, Carl Norton, was playing that game as well. And I think it was the last time we saw him play for us. And it was actually the last time AVB played for us, managed us as well.
The fickle nature of Craig Mitch. You accused her of being fickle.
You called Hugo fucking
Apologise to Hugo.
Apologise to him now.
Down the barrel.
Say you're sorry.
Guys.
No, say you're sorry.
Guys. I'm sorry, Hugo. You can have as much cigarettes as you want. I'm sorry.
You love him, don't you?
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. I don't know what I was thinking.
Okay, so a negative memory from Craig. Mitch, Emma.
Well, tragically, mine is also quite negative. But it's funny that you mentioned that 5-0 hideousness because that is also my memory. But I've got a slightly different negativeness out of it. I was actually living in Australia at the time, and they have got an amazing Spurs fan club in Australia, in Sydney, called Australia Spurs. They're legends. Hi, guys. Massive shout out to you.
Good night, mate.
Hey!
Jesus. Anyway,
Jesus.
It is one thing watching your team lose 5-0 in real time and it being bloody hideous. It is a whole other level of hideousness when a 4 p.m. Sunday kickoff means you have to be in the pub to watch the game at 3 a.m. Monday morning, when you have to be at work at 7 a.m. and you watch your team ship 5 goals against that lot.
Emma, I've seen your Instagram. You're always in the pub at 3 in the morning.
Well, yeah, I mean,
every morning, as far as I can tell.
But not to
Check
watch...
out her Instagram. What is it? At Emma Story?
Spurs Emma 81.
Spurs Emma 81.
But no, to watch that level of disaster when you've had no sleep and you know you've got to go to work on no sleep, it's hideous. Yeah. It's so hideous. It was my worst Spurs memory of that whole year.
At least you didn't shout at Hugo Lloris.
No, I didn't. So that's
okay, and a little stat. Have you got a little stat for us, Emma, to do with the game or to do with Spurs?
I'm afraid it's a depressing stat as well, but I'm sorry.
This has all turned a little bit depressing.
I'm just because I'm countering the positiveness of my prediction.
Okay, good.
And the fact that, you know, the old Spurs is gone, but in our last 5 league games against Liverpool, we have conceded 15 goals.
Okay, that's not good, but like you said, that's old
But
Spurs.
that's old Spurs.
Craig,
That's old
anything
Spurs.
positive stat-wise?
No, it's a negative one as well, and it's very similar. We've won once in our last 8 Prem meetings against Liverpool.
Okay.
And the last time we won was in 2012, but it leads on to a positive, which is that I think we're due a win.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm just going to bring a bit more positivity. My memory would be Eric Edmonds' goal against them
Oh,
at
that
Anfield
was a
from
good
about 700 yards,
Yeah.
Old school.
with his left foot across the keeper. And I remember where I was. I was in a pub in North London on my own watching it, and I was going
On your own?
absolutely mad. Yeah, I used to go and
Weird.
watch Spurs on my own every week in the pub because I didn't have a season ticket because I'm spoiled
friends.
sometimes. And well, no, yeah. So now we'll go on to team selections. I'm going to start with you, Craig Mitch.
Yes.
What is your team selection for Liverpool versus Spurs?
Right, so we're filming this on a Tuesday. Let's just put that out there.
And before the second international game.
Yeah,
before the
so
home game.
what I will say is, depending if there aren't any injuries, completely unchanged from Bournemouth. If there are, and at the moment, at this point in time, it's looking like only Lamella, then Son will come in.
Okay, so your team is as follows. It is
Lloris.
Hugo Lloris, Kyle Walker, Toby Alderweireld, Kevin Wimmer, Danny Rose.
No, let's change that. Jan Vertonghen over Kevin Wimmer. So it's not completely
I'm
unchanged.
not sure. Okay, so Jan Vertonghen.
Keeping
in
it
Kevin
consistent
Wimmer.
with my debate, mate.
Then Eric Dyer, Moussa Dembele, Eric Lamella,
Yeah.
Christian Eriksen, Dele Alli, Harry Kane.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty. So
Could potentially
only
lose a
Super
point
Jan
there on the
Vertonghen-
centre half, yeah.
Super Jan Vertonghen in for Kevin Wimmer. Emma Story, what's your team selection?
No, I am disagreeing and I am going unchanged from Bournemouth. So Hugo, Walker, Toby, Wimmer and Rose, Dyer, Dembele, Lamella, Ali, Ericsson and Kane.
Yeah, like we talked about, I think everyone seems to know our first 11. Okay, so as if there's not been an edit in this at all, let's go on to match predictions for the other matches around us, those in the top 6 or 7. So the matches that you have to predict are Arsenal versus Watford, Bournemouth versus Manchester City, West Ham versus Crystal Palace, Leicester versus Southampton, and Man United versus Everton. I'm going to come to you first. Emma Story, what are your match predictions?
Okay, so starting off with that lot down the road against Watford. I mean, I've been really impressed with Watford this season. I think we all have, and I think they can snatch a draw.
Nice.
I think it will finish 1-1 at the
Okay.
Emirates, which would be lovely, quite frankly. Bournemouth, Man City. I think despite Bournemouth's good form at home, especially, I think Man City will be too strong, and they will win 2-1. West Ham against Crystal Palace. Tragically, Palace are obviously shocking in the league this season. They're in massive freefall towards the relegation zone. West Ham, annoyingly, are brilliant at home, so I think it's going to be a 3-0 win to them. Now, Leicester-Southampton. Leicester-Southampton.
The big one.
The big one.
After our big one.
After our big one. Funnily enough, I think the international break might actually have worked in our favour because I think it's sort of halted Leicester's momentum a little bit, or will halt Leicester's momentum. Southampton are excellent. They are super well organised, very good defensively.
Just off the back of being Liverpool 3-2, having been 2-0
Well,
down.
yeah, which was obviously a really good day.
Show me the money.
I don't think they'll win Southampton because I think it's a little bit too much of a stretch given it's at home for Leicester, but I think it will be a draw.
Okay.
I think it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. Okay.
1-1. Come on, Southampton.
And Man United versus Everton.
And Man United, Everton, neither team can defend, and they're both playing for not very much, so I don't think United have got a hope of getting top 4, so I think it's going to finish 2-2.
But they did just beat Man City, didn't they, to close it up there?
Yeah.
Not sure.
No.
Okay. What about you, Craig? What are your predictions?
All right, so Woolwich versus Watford. I'm going for 2-1 to Woolwich.
Oh.
I just feel like they're not going to have a repeat of the FA Cup. They're going to learn from that. Yeah. I mean, they were poor against them. They didn't take their chances at the Emirates in the FA Cup, and I just don't think there's going to be a repeat of that. They're going to make sure they get the job done, unfortunately, and stay near us, which is annoying. But yeah, I think they're going to win 2-1. Bournemouth versus Manchester City. A part of me wants to say Bournemouth are going to want to respond after we battered them.
Yeah.
And they've been decent this half of the season, but Man City can't afford another slip-up. I mean, they're not really in it, but they need to get top 4 in order for Pep to really come in and be in the Champions League
and
still.
West Ham are really pushing him for top 4.
Exactly. So I think it's going to be 3-1 to Manchester City against Bournemouth. West Ham and Palace. I feel like this one's going to go to the wire. I feel like Palace they were so poor against Leicester. They're so bad, but I think they really need to fix up a bit. I don't think they're going to have enough to beat West Ham away, so I think it's going to be 2-1, but it's going to go to the wire, maybe a West Ham late goal, 2-1. Leicester and Southampton this is the one, and I honestly think it will be a draw. I think Southampton are defensively very good.
Just don't want your tones being
sorry.
He
Well
doesn't need to worry
organised.
about that. Have you not heard how loud he is?
Yeah, I project it. It will just like... I just think it will be a draw. I agree with Emma in the sense that I feel like they will lose momentum, but equally, I just think Southampton are a very good team, very well organised. Ronald Koeman knows what he's doing, so I'm going to go with 1-1.
Very interesting you've both gone for draws, because in my predictions, I thought a few weeks ago, which you should watch if you haven't, I thought Leicester would draw at Palace, and I thought they'd beat Southampton. So if it does flip round the other way, because they won at Palace,
You're still on a bit.
Still on
Still
my
on.
predictions.
Still on.
I've also, by the way, got us to draw at Liverpool, so anyway, we'll see.
Manchester United versus Everton. I've gone for a score draw as well, but 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all your predictions in. Now, how do those predictions affect the league table? Craig, I'll come to you first.
All right, so that leaves...
start at 6th.
That starts with... Okay, at 6th, we've got Manchester United will be on 53 points. West Ham will be in 5th on 53 points. Manchester City will be in 4th on 54 points. Arsenal will be 3rd on 58 points. Remember, I think all of those 4 have a game in hand. I think. Is it West Ham as well? Not sure. I think majority of them have a game in hand. Spurs, 64 points, and Leicester on 67, leaving us 3 points behind
3
Leicester.
points behind. I'd be pretty happy with that. Emma, story.
Almost identical. So yeah, 6th I'd forgotten about, but it will be Man United on 53. 5th, West Ham, also on 53. 4th, Man City, 54. Arsenal, 3rd, 56. Spurs, obviously, our boys, 2nd in 64. And Leicester top, but yes, 67, only 3 points ahead with a vastly
64.
inferior goal
So is
difference.
that exactly the same? No, not exactly the same on points. So
Arsenal,
anyway,
I gave a bit more.
most importantly, we will see at the beginning of next week's show not only how they did in that, but also how the England-Holland match preview battle went, because we filmed this before that. That was, I believe, Reece versus... Craig. Okay, Reece versus Craig. So we'll see. The league table will have changed. The Premier League table will have changed. Everything will change. So make sure you tune into next week's match preview battle to see how they all did and how that's affected the league table. Let us know in the comment section below what your predictions are. Who will win what? What will the Spurs score be? What selection should Poch make? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel on YouTube and follow us on Twitter @SpurredOnTV. Come on, you Spurs. Hi guys, Barnaby for Spurred On. This is the 8-bit debate. We haven't done one of these for quite a long time because it's been such a great season that Spurs haven't really...